All right, all right. All right, all right. Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off by saying, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashi, Kol Haloim Yahawah, Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that's scattered abroad. The Akim and the Aqua that's listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that this lesson is edifying. It's the brother Shabab Omawan back at you with another lesson. And the title of this lesson is going to be called Famine, Inflation, Collapse. All right. And inspiration came from when I went to the store yesterday. There was nothing on the shelves. All right. Which I did a video earlier in the week. As a matter of fact, yeah, I did a video earlier in the week about famine. All right. But Spirit was put on me to do another one, you know, especially after what I seen yesterday in the stores. All right. And I went to 2 separate stores and there was nothing in there, you know, which, you know, the famine is right around the corner. We've been saying it over and over and over again, man, for a while now. And, you know, little by little, you're going to start seeing that these stores ain't going to have anything, any of these products for you. All right. And when they do have them, it's a limit. It's basically, you got to get there, you got to get there before somebody else takes it. All right. But, you know, on top of that, you know, hyperinflation. Inflation is off the roof right now, man. These things are going up more and more. All right. Yesterday, I literally bought, it was 5 wings for $10. You know, that's double the price. You know, usually you get a package like that for, you know, $4 or $5. You know, now it's 10. It was almost $11, man. You got steaks with meat, the little bit of meat they had, all right, which they always have pork. they won't have no chicken, no steak, no beef, all right, but they'll always have pork on deck for you, you know, forcing you to eat that abominable food. They always have shrimps and lobsters and shit, you know. But you know, the meat is $30 basically. It's crazy. You know, it's gonna keep going up and up. All right. And eventually what's gonna happen is the collapse. All right, which that's another prophecy that we're waiting for, man. And pretty much, you know, the collapse of this society, the collapse of America was gonna cause a lot of, you know, Jacob's trouble. On top of that, ushering in that MOTB, you know, because there's an agenda that's being pushed. And you have to understand that these governments, all right, they're the cause of all this. They're the cause of all this because they have a certain agenda that they want to push. So they're in control of everything. They're in control of that, you know, Federal Reserve, all right? And they themselves are the ones that is causing the inflation and causing the collapse of America, all to bring in that new world order, all right? That great reset that they want, you see? And Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is putting the spirit on them to make these moves, man. All right. And this is why you got to get right with Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man, because that's the only way you're going to be able to survive through these times. All right. But I'm going to go through a couple videos. Some of them are like, one's like 8 minutes long, but it's good information, you know, really good information. So that's why I'm gonna play them. And one's like 4 minutes, another one's like 40 seconds. And then the other two videos will be the videos of me when I went to the store. All right, and there was nothing in there. And then just a couple like little screenshots that I had posted up for letting you know what inflation is. All right. And that's pretty much what I want to get into. Shalom, brother. YAHAWAH'S. All right. So with that being said, let me go into which one should all right, I'll bring out the scripture first. This is Ecclesiasticus Ecclesiasticus 13 and 23. And it says, when a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue, and look what he saith, they extol it to the clouds. But if the poor man speaketh, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow thee. All right. And there's a video that I'm going to play. All right. Which just starts off. This is why I brought out the scripture, because that's exactly what it starts off. It's saying, it says when a rich man is speaking, everybody tends to hear. You see. And we're telling you the same thing and been telling you, starting with the elders, 30 plus years, they've been telling you this forever, all right, all the way on down to the brothers now, you see, but nobody wants to hear us. Why? Because we are that poor man that speaks, all right. They look at us like, who the hell are you? We're nobody to these people, man. And they say they cannot possibly have the truth. But when they hear it from an actual rich man, a celebrity, anything like that, these people extol it to the clouds, man. All right. So let me play this quick video. Well, this one's 8 minutes, but very crucial what he's saying. All right.
Richest man on the planet has something to. When the richest man on the planet has something to say about finance, people.
And Salakia, you know what? I forgot to share my screen. There you go. Shalom, brother. YAHAWAH'S. All right, there you go. Let me read this one more time. Ecclesiasticus 13 and 23. When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue, and look what he saith. They extol it to the clouds. But if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him. All right, now let me go into that video.
When the richest man on the planet has something to say about finance, people tend to listen. So when Elon tweeted his predictions on the future of the United States economy, the world was taken by storm. A few days ago, an American journalist named Christopher Mims posted a list of 936 startups valued at over $1 billion, typically referred to as unicorns. Christopher's tweet read, there are 936 startups with a value of over $1 billion today. What do we think this chart looks like in, say, 5 years? Elon Musk replied to Christopher's tweet saying, if history is any guide, not many will make it past the next recession. And that's when one Twitter user chimed in.
See, so he already telling you there's going to be another recession. All right. He's letting you straight know right in front of your face. All right. And these people don't see it. Why? Because they caught up in all the enchantments, all the sorceries, all right, of Esau. All his bullshit in society right now that keep you asleep. Okay.
When the richest man on the planet has something in, say, 5 years, Elon Musk replied to Christopher's tweet saying, if history is any guide, not many will make it past the next recession. And that's when one Twitter user chimed in with the question on everyone's mind. When do you think the next recession will be? Elon answered, predicting macroeconomics is challenging to say the least. My gut feeling is maybe around spring or summer 2022, but not later than 2023.
So listen, we're about to come up by the spring, all right? It's about to be the new year, Passover, and always after Passover, man, it gets hectic, you see? And we're coming up to that time, all right? Which, I tell brothers, you know, at the end of the day, we're going to put our trust in YAHAWAH'S, all right? But, it also tells you in the scriptures to use wisdom. You see, we are sent in the midst of wolves, all right? So we got to be wise as serpents. We gotta use wisdom. So, good things to do is because this economy is going to collapse. And the only thing that's going to help you is you actually having precious metals, gold, silver, all right? Because at the end of the day, this money, all right, that everybody's fighting for is nothing. It's worth nothing. Pretty much what you're doing right now with all this hyperinflation and all that, you are busting your ass at work for nothing. Because even if you get a raise at your job, your raise is counted as nothing. Why? Because the inflation of these products are going up. So the more money you making at your job, but behind your back they're rising up the prices, okay? You're not even going to be able to, afford these things at one point. So it doesn't matter how much money you make. Your money is worth nothing. This is what hyperinflation is about. Hyperinflation is when the money is starting to lose its value. And it's been losing its value, you see, because this economy is going down the drain. As a matter of fact, let me play another quick video since I just said that. And I'll go back to that. This is a prime example.
I don't even have anything. And I don't even have anything. Want to see what $100 if I can get to in groceries in Canada? $100 fucking. If that doesn't make you sick, I don't know what the fuck will. $100 fucking.
And right now you can't really see it on the top because I don't know, it's like opened up too much. It should have went smaller, but I counted it before. 16 products. She bought 16 products, typical products that we need: bread, milk, eggs, you see? And she paid $100 for that. So now if this woman is making a certain amount of money, let's just say she's making, let's just say she's making $20 an hour. All right. That shit is pointless. Because if you're paying for 16 products of things like this, all right, she even had an onion up in there, man.
And I don't even have anything.
That shit was bugged, yo. Look, she got a celery in there. It looked like celery. She got an onion, a pepper. How much did them peppers cost, man? That shit is fucking 50 cents in the store. That shit is probably at $2, $3, $4, So if she's got a job that's $20, right, an hour, but you paying $100 for groceries like this, which this is gonna run out in fucking 2 days, basically 3 days, you're gonna be right back at the store for some more. So you have a good job or a decent paying job, which $20 really ain't shit in today's society, man. All right. But you're spending it on the goods that are being raised up. Gas price. Then you got to think about gas, You got your foods and things like that. Matter of fact, the cost of utility bills is going up, man. I just paid, man, even thinking about it gets me pissed off. I'm about to pay $300 for my gas bill, which makes no fucking sense. I had to argue with these people asking them what the hell's going on. You see? All of a sudden, my bill's been at 100, 120 for gas, and it just shot up all the way to $300, man. Oh, and they was talking about, prices went up, the rates went up, and all this crazy shit, So they're raising up prices even in rates in these utility bills, man. So you're basically working for free, man, and barely making your bills, barely getting the necessities of your home. You see, this is what hyperinflation does to people, which at the end of the day is made to make you broke. All right. A lot of people going to lose jobs because with hyperinflation, these little mom and pop shops, they're closing down because they can't even afford the food to continue in their shops. You see, I was talking to a guy the other day, and he was telling me how he can't. It was a pizza shop guy that I know, and he was like, "Yo, I can't even do it no more." He said it just makes no sense. I used to make so much money. Now I'm making nothing. With the prices that I'm paying for all my food, all right, he said it's so high, it's just like he said the same thing. He's working for free. And this is what causes these businesses to close, which at the end of the day, the society wants you to have basically the poor and the rich. And the rich is going to conquer. The poor is not going to conquer, you see? The poor is going to be brought down low, made homeless, all right? Put you in a predicament to basically beg for this MOTB because they want this society to collapse to bring that in, you see? To bring in that new great reset that they always speak about, which they're going to say that. And matter of fact, I'll play it real quick. It says it right here in this one.
From the economic around the world have on paper seemingly recovered from the economic collapse that occurred last year. Unemployment rates are getting closer to normal. The number of business bankruptcies has hit.
And he's talking about this was for 2021. All right. We in 2022 now.
A 2-year low, and the stock market is at an all-time high. On the surface, this seems pretty good, but in reality, we are actually going through the biggest and scariest economic experiment in history. An experiment which could help bring us into a golden age of a new kind of economy.
You see, what's that new kind of an economy? That great reset, that new world order, all right, which is going to bring you both of these things that he's talking about, either the golden economy,
or it could bring us into a new dark age that the world has never seen,
which is going to bring us into what? Jacob's trouble. It's going to bring us into this world collapsing. All right, this society collapsing, and it's going to cause a huge uproar everywhere. So they're actually knocking two birds with one stone, basically. You see? They want everybody to uproar just to bring in that it goes into order at chaos, man. Chaos, where they have they pretty much start something like this. All right, they're causing it, but then they come with what? That solution for you. You see, and everybody's going to fall for that solution, which is going to be the MOTB. We don't need no more money. Everything is just going to be right here in this, in this grain. You already know what I'm saying, okay? And that's how the government works, man. They know this is why the devil is showing his horns right before your eyes, man, and people can't see it. All right, only those that are in this truth and those that have the eyesight to see are going to be able to see these things. Okay, so $100 for these fucking 16 products, man. That's scary. Okay. Now let me go back to Elon Musk. I was at 50, I believe. Yep, around there.
23. However, Elon didn't go into details to explain why he thinks so and whether this will be something like a great recession or only something ordinary. According to Doug Ramsey, Chief Investment Officer for Luthold Group, when the S&P 500 closed at a 52-week high last week, 334 companies trading on the New York Stock Exchange hit a 52-week low, more than double the amount that marked new one-year highs. This has happened only 3 times in history, all of them in December 1999. What this means is that the U.S. stock market is at a high point. There are not enough new funds outside the stock market. U.S. stock funds are accumulated in the pools of a few leading companies, which means that the valuations of other companies are at a low level. Basically, financing has become a lot more difficult. On top,
you see these other companies that are low level. You see, because what happens is that's how they push them out. Only the rich is going to prosper. The rest is going to fall apart. They're not going to be able to hang with society, man. This is what goes into that. Just like in the time of the Great Depression, that recession and all that, they're basically doing the same thing all over again. Hey, the scriptures say there's no new thing under the sun. All right, that was all right shall be. Roughly paraphrasing it. But these things that happen in the history always repeats itself. It's gonna repeat itself all over again.
On top of that, the Federal Reserve's monetary policy tends to be conservative. This means that the tight liquidity situation.
And it's funny because they'll tell you that this inflation, all that is all transitory. They're lying to you when they tell you that, man, because it's only gonna get worse. Because what they, transitory goes when it talks about when it goes up and down. They say, oh, it's just only for this time, for this little bit through this pandemic that's going on, and everything's gonna go back to normal. It's not gonna go back to normal, man. Everything is gonna go downhill. It's been going downhill for the last 2 years, ever since that pandemic started. All right, in March of 2020, ain't nothing go back to normal. It's only been getting worse and worse and worse. All right, until eventually this place falls down, man.
Situation is increasing. On the same thread, another Twitter user, Chris Smithson, believes that the inflation level in the United States has reached historic highs. An obvious sign is that the prices of goods in retail stores that he's observed have been rising in the past 6 months. Whether there will be a financial crisis in the next stage depends on whether the Federal Reserve can effectively withdraw from the quantitative easing monetary policy. This isn't the first time that Elon has predicted gloomy times ahead for the economy. Not long ago, the Tesla CEO was in a number of highly publicized Twitter bouts with leading Democratic politicians. In his spat with Bernie Sanders, Elon called the senator a taker, not a maker, alongside a joke about Bernie's old age. Elon also went on to comment several times about the impact of the government deficit on inflation and the inability of the federal government to control spending. In another tweet, Elon said, inflation is the most regressive tax of all. Regressive taxation refers to lower income segments of the population paying a higher percentage of their income to tax authorities than wealthier people pay. People with bigger incomes pay higher tax rates in the US, but Musk's point is that inflation eats into the savings of average Americans. And
you see, it eats into your savings. So basically, and this is why I was just saying before, right now, with the way things is going, if you have a little bit of money in your savings, the best thing to do is take that money out, because when the economy falls, the fucking banking system is going to fall with it. All right, they're going to pretty much just keep your money. Your money's going to be worthless, man. So the best thing for you to do is you take out those savings, all right? And with those savings, little by little, you start buying things like silver and gold, all right? Which this is not biblical to do, all right? But this is being wise, all right? Because the only thing that is real is gold and silver. See, we out here fighting. If you realize, money's made for the hood, money's made for the ghetto. That's it. We're out here killing ourselves with it. But do you think that these elites actually have money that they spend? No, everything they got is fucking gold, all right? Which at the end of the day, everything is cards, all right? Everything is, all they got to do is say, I'm going to put $1 million in my damn bank account today. And they put it in the computer and just, wire transaction that shit. You see? They don't use money. We use money. We kill ourselves for money. Something that's going fucking, is gonna be done away with. Matter of fact, let me grab that scripture. Salaki, give me 2 seconds. Forgot exactly where it's at. This is Ezekiel 7:19. They shall cast their silver. Matter of fact, you know what? Let me just grab it from here. Salakia. Ezekiel 7:19. Did I pass that? Oh. 7:19. And it says, they shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of wrath. And that's why it tells you in Proverbs that riches profit not in the day of wrath, man. All this money shit ain't nothing, man. All that shit is going to fall at one point. All right. Which eventually gold and silver is going to fold. You see? It's not going to be worth anything also. And it says, for their gold and silver shall not be able to deliver them in the day of wrath of the Lord YAHAWAH'S. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity. You see? So this dollar is worth nothing. Okay? The only thing that will help you out is gold, silver, you having property, which we, again, we depend on YAHAWAH'S. But it would be smart if you have a little bit of money to invest in a piece of land, because that's something you could trade off later, you see? But then again, the fashion of this world passeth away. So having all these things wouldn't matter, man, because we're going to put our trust in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai at the end of the day. But it's using wisdom, okay? So money will be done away with, man. And again, like we was just saying, with all this hyperinflation, is made to break down these little companies and things like that. All right. Matter of fact, let me grab that because I just thought about it before. This is Ecclesiastes, Salakia, 12:3. And it says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out of their windows be darkened. Yeah, because all these businesses are going to be closed up, man. There ain't going to be no more work out there. All right. They done basically broke every company down that was little. All right. And brought them down to naught, which at the same time, all right, it goes into, let me open another one. Actually, I can't because it won't let me go into Ecclesiasticus like that. Salakia, 2nd Ezra's 6:22. And it says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And you see, and this is what you're seeing with all this, little by little. You go into these stores and they starting to be found empty. I didn't even go through the whole store, man. There was a whole bunch of different things that were just not in their, in their aisles. I was just like, damn, even like dry foods and canned goods, limited to certain things. On top of that, you got these bugged out people, these fake doomsday preppers and shit, which they all be stacking up. Which at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to enjoy that because that's going to be made for the elect. All right. Because what does it say in Isaiah? Isaiah 63. 63 or 65? 65:13. It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servants shall sing for the joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. All right, so at the end of the day, all these doomsday preppers and all that, hey, that's going to be for us, because Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai is going to provide a way for us for putting our trust in them, man. You see? So you can stock up all you want. But this is why you're starting to see these little shops that, these little shops in these, even these bigger stores, they're not having as much food because these places are going to be, they're going to run out of their product, man. Okay? Just like it was just saying, let me read that again. 2nd Ezra 6:22. All right. And the sown places shall be suddenly unsown. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Okay. Now let me go back to what was it? Oh, Ecclesiastes 12. All right. 12:3. In that day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened. All right. So employment, because when you go into these words, the word grinders, it goes into employment. Matter of fact, let me just do that for edification. Ecclesiastes 12:3. All right. Let me just keep reading. 4, and it says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and the daughters of music shall be brought low. When you go into that word grinding, all right, it goes into
Strong's H2913. Tachana. Tachana.
All right. Grinding goes into what? You see? employment, that being their employment. You see? And that's why we brothers be like, hey, yo, I'm just grinding at the job, you know, I'm on the grind. Okay. So employment is gonna be done out here, man. Ain't nobody gonna be working, and they're gonna shut this place down again. It's gonna be a whole nother lockdown. We're not gonna come back from that lockdown. All right. Now let me go back into what was I? The video. Beautiful. This is Ecclesiasticus 34:22. He that taketh away his neighbor's living slayeth him, and he that defraudeth the labor of his hire is a bloodshedder. You see? And this is exactly what these devils is doing, man. And this is why they want you pretty much to the point where they want to bring also in that that universal basic income. See, they want you at home being lazy, all right, doing nothing, and they want to give you this universal basic income while you sitting your ass at home. And what happens is now you become dependent on these things, all right? That makes you depend on the government, and then another way to suck you right into what? The MOTB. Because then they're gonna tell you, all right, well, if you want to continue to get these, keep having these benefits, all right, we're gonna need you to take this. And a lot of people they're gonna be so comfortable in taking that universal basic income that they're gonna be like, all right, hell yeah, you know how Jake is. Jake lazy as hell. if they could sit at home all damn day, they would. You see it now. You know, you got people collecting welfare checks and shit like that, using the government to their advantage. You know, what's it saying in the scriptures? You know, warn to them that they'll go down to Egypt for help. Okay. And then it said, then brother got Proverbs 13:22. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. You see, going back to what I was just saying. All right. All these things that these people, you know, are hoarding in their home, it's gonna be laid up for us at the end of the day. This is 2 Ezra 2:27. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. Beautiful. See, we're going to be good, man. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua going to take care of us for doing the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, for putting our trust in him, man. This is why you need him, because knowledge and wisdom going to be the stability of thy times, man. Okay? That's right. Genesis 25:27, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter. He's a cunning hunter. He knows how to hunt his prey. He knows how to lay these snares, these traps, all right, to suck us in. And because what? Jacob was a plain man, a holy man, dwelling in tents, you know, we always just chilling. You know, everything's about being laid back, having a good old time, you know, a little barbecue here and there. Dwelling in tents is like chilling in the hood, chilling on the stoop. All right. But the point is that he's a cunning hunter, so he knows how to make his move, man. He has that perpetual hatred for you. See, he loves to hunt deers and animals in the fields. Well, Esau looks at us like we just some animals, bro. And he'll sit there all day long, all right, until he suck you right in. And that's what they do in the field. They sit there all day long. You got these motherfuckers who sit there and throw piss on top of their ass, sit in the leaves, blend in with leaves, you know, and they'll sit there all damn day until they prey come exactly where they want them to be, in that trap. And then they'll get you. They got patience. That's one thing. See, Jake ain't got patience. Esau got plenty of patience, man. All right. But at the same time, his patience is wearing thin right now because he has but a short time. So, you know, he got to make these moves, which Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is putting the spirit on this damn devil to make these moves. Shalom, brother. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Barakatah. All right. So let me go back into this video, all right, which I was around. I think it was right here. Yep.
Valuations of other companies are at a low level. Basically, financing has become a lot more difficult. On top of that, the Federal Reserve's monetary policy tends to be conservative. This means that the tight liquidity situation is increasing. On the same thread, another Twitter user, Chris Smithson, believes that the inflation level in the United States has reached historic highs. An obvious sign is that the prices of goods in retail stores that he's observed have been rising in the past 6 months. Whether there will be a financial crisis in the next stage depends on whether the Federal Reserve can effectively withdraw from the quantitative easing monetary policy. This isn't the first time that Elon has predicted gloomy times ahead for the economy. Not long ago, the Tesla CEO was in a number of highly publicized Twitter bouts with leading Democratic politicians. In his spat with Bernie Sanders, Elon called the senator a taker, not a maker, alongside a joke about Bernie's old age. Elon also went on to comment several times about the impact of the government deficit on inflation and the inability of the federal government to control spending. In another tweet, Elon said, "Inflation is the most regressive tax of all." Regressive taxation refers to lower income segments of the population paying a higher percentage of their income to tax authorities than wealthier people pay. People with bigger incomes pay higher tax rates in the US, but Musk's point is that inflation eats into the savings of average Americans and hurts people on fixed incomes like retirees the most. Usually, wealthy individuals aren't hurt as much by inflation because many have stock portfolios that rise in value. The super wealthy also have a greater ability to demand higher wages and offset rising prices. Unsurprisingly, Elon isn't the only prophet of doom in the tech world. Jack Dorsey is also very worried about some major issues facing the U.S. economy. In October 2021, the Twitter founder tweeted, "Hyperinflation is going to change everything. It is happening." Replying to his own cryptic tweet, Jack wrote, "It will happen in the U.S. soon, and so the world." As you might have guessed, hyperinflation is basically very high and accelerated inflation. Researchers have documented 57 cases of hyperinflation as of 2018, with the first recorded episode occurring between 1795 and 1796 in post-revolutionary France. Some economists and writers have looked at possible hyperinflation in the US as early as March 2021, when the economy started to get back on track after an artificially depressed year due to lockdowns and a ton of restrictions during the coronavirus pandemic. The term hyperinflation raised some dark images, with Venezuela being the most recent example and Zimbabwe as one of the most famous examples.
And if I'm correct, I believe there was a post when that went down in Venezuela, they were actually throwing money in the streets. You see? If I'm correct, I don't know if it was just a post. You know how sometimes these people just make up posts. But if I'm correct, I believe I remember me seeing a post where they was throwing money all over the streets in Venezuela, man. Why? Because that money was worth shit. You see? And that's coming to America.
Yep, hyperinflation. You know, where people are carting around stacks of bills in wheelbarrows, central banks issue new currency notes with significantly more zeros, people run to the cash register with food before prices go up again, and retirement funds are depleted. It's a societal disaster, a nightmare, if you will. In that case, it's a good thing that many outlets and respected figures in the financial world were quick to oppose Jack Dorsey's stance on the state of the economy. ARK Invest's CEO Cathie Wood pushed back against Jack Dorsey's claim, tweeting, "In 2008-2009, when the Fed started quantitative easing, I thought that inflation would take off. I was wrong. Instead, velocity, the rate at which money turns over per year, declined, taking away its inflationary sting. Velocity is still falling." In a Twitter thread, Cathie argued that the price increases impacting consumers should wind down after the holiday season due to 3 sources of deflation. According to the ARK Invest CEO, the first source is technologically enabled innovation, such as artificial intelligence. She also noted that AI training costs are dropping 40%.
Yeah, you see how he just said that? This thing's right in my way.
Innovation, such as after the holiday season due to 3 sources of deflation. According to the ARK Invest CEO, the first source is technologically enabled innovation, such as artificial intelligence.
You see, basically to deflate that inflation, all right, artificial intelligence has to play a part in it, which we're coming into that. We living in that time of what? The fourth industrial revolution, which at the end of the day, is all set up for what? The MOTB. That's going to be the solution right there to deflate all this inflation, man.
She also noted that AI training costs are dropping 40% to 70% at an annual rate, which she called a record-breaking deflationary force. Wood also said when costs and prices decline, velocity and disinflation, if not deflation, follow. If consumers and businesses believe that prices will fall in the future, they'll wait to buy goods and services, pushing the velocity of money down. Kathy said that the second source of deflation is creative destruction as a result of disruptive innovation. Since the tech and telecom bust and the global financial crisis in 2008, many companies have catered to short-term oriented shareholders who want profits or dividends now. They leveraged their balance sheets to pay dividends and buy back shares, manufacturing earnings per share. They've not invested enough in innovation and will probably be forced to service their debts by selling increasingly obsolete goods at discounts. Deflation. The third source that Wood cited was the over-ordering and stockpiling of goods that have occurred as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic and supply chain issues. Wood tweeted, because businesses shut down and were caught flat-footed as goods consumption took off during the coronavirus crisis, they're still scrambling to catch up, probably double and triple ordering beyond their needs. And as a result, once the holiday season passes and companies face excess supplies, prices should unwind. Kathy Wood pointed out that commodity prices like lumber and iron ore have already dropped 50%, and that the price of oil is still psychologically important. She noted that global demand for oil in 2021 was below its 2019 levels and unlikely to return to its old high, partly because its price had broken a string of lower highs and was above the $77 hit in 2018, therefore destroying demand. That wasn't the end of Wood's thread, though. She went on to say that on the supply side, environmental, social, and governance mandates have forced energy companies to shift spending from mature fossil fuels to renewables. Meanwhile, banks have deprived fracking companies of funding after their near-death experience in 2020. Kathy Wood concluded by tweeting, in response to the near quadrupling of oil prices since the low last year, electric vehicle adoption has accelerated, sowing the seeds of a serious oil price decline longer term. Elon responded to Kathy Wood's tweet saying, I don't know about the long term, but short term we are seeing strong inflationary pressure. Elon isn't the only billionaire who's worried about inflation. Ray Dalio, the legendary hedge fund manager, also believes that it's only a matter of time before inflation hits the American economy. When Yahoo Finance's editor-in-chief asked Ray Dalio how concerned he was about inflation, the billionaire responded, I'm significantly concerned about it. Because of the amount of money and credit that has to be produced and is budgeted, it's a large increase. Ray Dalio, who runs the world's largest hedge fund, Bridgewater Associates, has been warning everyone about soaring inflation. He was louder than ever in November 2021 when an inflation report revealed consumer prices had their biggest gain in over 3 decades. In a LinkedIn post following that report, Dalio warned that raging inflation was eroding the wealth of Americans. He wrote, some people make the mistake of thinking that they're getting richer because they're seeing their assets go up in price without seeing how their buying power is being eroded. The ones hurt the most are those who have their money in cash. In his post, Ray Dalio cited a chapter from his new book, Principles for Dealing with the Changing World Order, which argued that a decline in a nation's wealth is usually accompanied by diminished power. Dalio wrote, there isn't an individual, organization, country, or empire that hasn't failed when it lost its buying power. To be successful, one must earn an amount that is at least equal to the amount one spends. The billionaire hedge fund manager warned that the U.S. is printing too much money without raising its productivity levels. He said, I've studied these empires, these dynasties going back over 500 years, and you see the same thing happening over and over again. When there's a financial problem and the coffers are empty, they print money. And when they print money, it devalues money. So how do you think the United States financial situation will turn out in 2022 and beyond? Are you with Elon Musk and Ray Dalio, or are you leaning more towards Kathy Wood's prediction? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below, and until next time.
Man, that's heavy right there. That's heavy right there. And that was that came out 3 weeks ago. That's what it's when I recorded it. It was saying it was dropped 3 weeks ago. So man, they telling you right to your face, man. You see, and that's why they, with all this, like he was saying, the more they print out money and all that, all right, it devalues the money, all right, and then they'll try to tell you that that we ain't gonna be able to pay the deficit of America and all this, but then they come out and they do it because at the end of the day, bro, they can print money all day long if they want. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing for them to print that money, all right. But it goes to show you that everything is devaluing and that dollar is losing its value. And then on top of that, with all these, inflation, with inflation comes war. That's why inflation is heavy right now, because we're in the middle about to be in the middle of World War III. And then all these other countries don't even want to deal with the dollar anymore. All right. They don't want to deal with America no more. So it hurts them. Which at the end of the day, all these other nations, all right, they all in it together. Remember, just like it tells you in Psalms 83. Psalms 83. For thine enemies make a tumult, that they hate thee, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent that they are confederate against thee. You see, and it goes into all these different, nations. These people are all against us, every single one of them, man. So, this is that's what that new world order is, that one world government. All these other governments being all in one accord together, all right, being one government. You see? Now, let me go back. This one's a 4-minute video, and that's the last long one. The rest are just, I'll bring out these little articles I have posted. And it says, will America fall like Rome? And absolutely. Why? Because this is the revival of the Roman Empire, you see? So it's going to fall exactly like Rome fell.
Described as the world's greatest civilization. Its long, sad path of decline and fall is a story for the ages. What can Rome's collapse teach 21st century Americans?
There has been through American history this consciousness of vulnerability, this consciousness of decline, this consciousness of a past greatness that somehow we may be falling short of.
Make America great again. Make America great again.
Politicians have capitalized on this vulnerability, but they're missing the point.
The narrative of decline and fall of Rome that has prevailed in America's minds has assumed that the fall was both the end of the story and the bad part. What if after the fall is the time we should be concentrating on as modern Americans?
If we make Romans of these barbarians, can we withhold Roman citizenship from them?
There are many theories of what went wrong.
There's corruption, there's slavery, there's overextension.
You know what's funny? Now that I think of that, with that, what he just said, all right?
There's slavery, there's overextension.
Bring that back.
Barbarians, can we make Romans of these barbarians? Can we withhold Roman citizenship from them?
If you think about it, that's pretty much, since this is the revival of the Roman Empire, all right? And what they wanted you to do, they want you to take the image, all right? They want you to take on that image of the BEAST, we already know, okay? And they want you to fall in the ways of this society by bringing in that MOTB. You see, it's pretty much, and you taking that charagma, what is it doing? It's branding you, showing you that you are a product of this society. All right, you're a product of their empire. And it's funny he just said that because this is the first thing that just popped up in my head. You see,
many theories of what went wrong.
There's corruption, there's slavery, there's overextension.
To evade the elephant's charge, draw the legions up in column.
The simplest theory involves a string of military losses that chipped away at its borders. Finally, a barbarian defeated the last emperor to rule Italy. Historians consider this the end of the Western Roman Empire, the part that tends to get all the attention.
After the fall, you have the bubonic plague, you have the Dark Ages, and then eventually you come to the Renaissance.
Scholars call the era in between late antiquity.
And see, brothers already know the Renaissance era was what? Was the rebirth of the ancient Roman Empire. So, of course, America's going to fall just like Rome did, man. There's no new thing under the sun.
This time of transformation gave rise to new systems of government, a new state religion, and artistic experimentation. And it can be a case study for America.
When Rome went away, some things were lost, but other things were created and became possible. The idea of modern...
Yeah, what was created was their ways, all right? By, because America, just like it tells you in Revelations 11 and 8, all right, where our Lord was crucified. Yeah, because the righteousness was crucified, you see? And it went all into their ways. So when he says that,
were created and became possible. The idea of modern went away, some things were lost, Other things were created and became possible.
Exactly.
The idea of modern
New things were
corporations and business organizations, some concept of individual rights, the first glimmer of what became universities. There was a kind of experimentation, which was the necessary precondition to the flowering of the Renaissance and onwards.
In just 6 months, 3 of the 5 biggest independent firms on Wall Street have now disappeared.
How does the US of today compare to the Rome of the past?
Over the last generation, there's almost nothing the national government system seems capable of. You have more and more national politics becoming a matter of what you could call tribal or like sports rivalries in a really nasty way.
The empire might be fading, but cities and towns tell a different story at the local level.
80% of Americans across the country and of all different ethnicities and income levels considered the community where they lived to be an excellent or quite good place to live. 70% of Americans said that they trusted the people in their own neighborhoods.
It must be that America was made great by Americans.
Just as the fall of central power in Rome made way for new possibilities, a weaker national government could lead to stronger local initiative.
President Trump tweeted today that he is revoking California's ability to set its own auto emission standards.
In almost any area of public policy you can think of, there are cases of where communities, states, and regions are taking the lead where national policy is not. We're seeing things like that in western Kansas, in the little farming town of Spurville, just outside Dodge City. Wind turbines becoming a major source of income for farmers. In every city of the United States, you can see city-based activity to plant more trees. It may be the single most effective short-term step to deal with carbon that's already in the atmosphere.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
The end of America as we know it doesn't necessarily mean the end of America.
When a tree falls in the forest, there's suddenly sunlight for the saplings that have been struggling to rise. Modern Americans should be thinking about how to avoid the decline and fall of the American empire, also what might come next.
And they have what? That great reset. That's the thing. See, like when she said the end of America doesn't necessarily mean the end. Yeah, because the economy is going to collapse, but they're going to usher in their new world order, you know, which it ain't gonna last long at all, because just like it's saying in the scriptures, while he is eating, let me grab that real quick. Job 20, right? 20 and 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. You see, when he about to fill his belly, he think that he got control of everything. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going what? All right, rain that righteousness upon his head, man. Gonna lift up that standard. All right. Matter of fact, what's the other scripture where it says? I know it's in Job. So they cannot perform their enterprise. KJV. 5, that's what it was. Slakia, this is Job 5 and 12, and it says he disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. You see, none of their things is going to prosper too long, man. That's why it says that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the hypocrite but for a moment, man. This is all for a moment. And he's gonna be brought down to naught. Can't wait. So let me see. Yeah, that was pretty much the point on that. Now let me just go into these two little articles I had. All right. It says, what is hyperinflation? All right. It says hyperinflation is a term to describe rapid excess and out of control general price increases in an economy. While inflation is a measure of the pace of rising price for goods and services, hyperinflation is rapidly rising inflation, typically measuring more than 50% per month. Although hyperinflation is a rare event for developed economies, it has occurred many times throughout history in countries such as China, Germany, Russia, Hungary, and Argentina. I thought I had it. Oh, yeah, I do got more to it. It says key takeaways. Hyperinflation refers to rapid and unrestrained prices increases in an economy, typically at rates exceeding 50% each month over time. All right. Hyperinflation can occur in times of war. You see, like I was saying before, and we're in the time of war. So this is why hyperinflation is out there, which is going to cause this place to collapse, man. And economic turmoil in the underlying product. Remember that word right there, economic turmoil in the underlying product economy, in conjunction with a central bank printing an excessive amount of money. All right. Remember that word, economic turmoil. And it says hyperinflation can cause a surge in prices for basic goods, such as food and fuel, as they become scarce. While hyperinflations are typically rare, once they begin, they can spiral out of control. And you're going to see it. And it's going to spiral out of control to the point where this place collapses. Now that turmoil, right? It says turmoil is a state of confusion, disorder, uncertainty, or great anxiety. All right. Now, the reason I brought that up, because what is this place? Babylon the Great. Babylon goes back to Babel, which Babel means confusion. All right. Which America is pretty much in a state of confusion. You see, which at the end of the day, what does it say in, what is that? Isaiah. I think it's Isaiah. Is it 54? Nah. Salakia, 55. Give me 1 second. I forgot which one it was. Let me just get it from here. Come sit down in the dust, KJV. Oh, 47, Salakia. This is Isaiah 47:1. It says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne or daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. All right. And the reason I bring this out is because what does the dust represent? Confusion. So it says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, man. This place is going to be in a state of confusion like never before, which I believe in Genesis, what was it? Genesis. Yep. This is Genesis 3 and 14. Okay. And it says, and the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat in all the days of thy life. All right. Yeah. Confusion. All right. And you know what? You're about to experience it more than ever. Okay. They confused, thinking that they're about to bring in their whole new world order, that, you know, their inward thought is that their houses shall, you know, continue from generation to generation. All that shit is being brought down to naught. You ain't going to be able to get nothing, all right, that you want to accomplish, man. All through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man. You see? That's why I said in Obadiah 1 and 2, what did it say? Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. And Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua hates Esau, man. He ain't gonna let him prosper in anything. He just using you for the moment just to destroy you, all right? And to use you as a whooping stick to the Israelites that don't want to hearken on to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Okay. So going back. So it says turmoil is a state of confusion, disorder, uncertainty, or great anxiety, man. Okay. This place is with great anxiety. This place has got disorder everywhere. This place is uncertain. All right. Why? Because it ain't gonna go back to the way it used to be, man. Let me go to, is there one more? I think I had. Yeah, it says the same thing here. Economic turmoil definition. Turmoil is a state of confusion. Yep. This right here says hyperinflation and the Great Depression. It says directions, blah, blah, blah. It says beginning in the fall of 1922, an extreme inflation or hyperinflation took hold of the German economy. During periods of inflation, prices rise continuously as the value of a currency drops sharply. Many European countries experienced inflation after the war, but nowhere did prices rise as rapidly as they did in Germany. On some days, the value of the mark, the unit of German currency, fell almost hourly. As a result of the inflation, Germans who had their savings in banks or were living on pensions or disability checks found themselves virtually bankrupt. This is why you need to take your money out these banks, man. Invest it in some gold, invest it in some silver. All right. We're not saying go out there and buy fucking crazy amounts of land, but maybe if you got the money, buy a little piece of land. You see, these are things that you could flip later, man. Which at the end of the day, that ain't something we really, YAHAWAH'S is where we're gonna put our trust in. But what does it say in 1 Corinthians? It says using the world, but not abusing it. You see? So sometimes you got to use the world to get by, man. It's using wisdom. Use the world, but not abuse it. All right. For the fashion of this world passeth away. And it says, as a result, blah, 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 and went bankrupt, workers increasingly discovered that no matter how high their wages rose, they could not keep up with rapid soaring prices. All right. And me talking about the gold, right, and the silver. Let me this is something a brother taught me. And I've done it here and there. All right. You go to this, it's gonna be hard for brothers to really afford gold, but you do it with silver, man. Where you see silver right here, okay, it's at $25. All right. Matter of fact, silver up here is worth $22.59. All right. That's the cost of silver. It's a little bit more, $3, $4 more here because they got to make their money. You never want to invest in these stupid ass, they got ones that be like $80 for 1 ounce of silver. That's just because of the fucking limited edition that it is. You want to go right here, something like this. I have a bunch of these, you see? And what you do with these is these are $25. You buy $300 worth. All right. When the economy falls, this $22, okay, is gonna shoot up. It's gonna shoot up to 100, 200. It can go all the way up to 1,500, which I doubt it will ever get that high. All right, but a good price that it will be at will be something like $200. You see, so you investing in a $25 ounce of gold, an ounce of silver, later is gonna be flipped to what? $200. You see, that's how you keep yourself afloat, in this, in while this place is, collapsing. And again, everything's gonna have to be putting your trust in YAHAWAH'S at the end of the day. So, you don't have to go crazy. We're not saying be oh shit, I'm just gonna invest everything that I have right into that. Nah, man, that's not what we're saying. It's just being wise. And the elders talk about that all the time, man. There's many videos of the elders talking about silver and gold and things like that to invest in. All right. So this is a very good website, trustworthy and everything. Like I said, I bought me silver from here already a couple times, you know, and it's worth it because you're being prepared. You're preparing yourself for when this place does fall. You have a little something to hold you off for a little bit, you know. So pretty much they come and run down in everybody's house and snatching all types of being we on the run and all that. Okay. Let me go into this last. These are the two videos. Yeah, this is the video that I was at yesterday. All right, this is me going into the food market. There was no beef, no steaks. All right. They had no ground beef on the other side. But see, look, what do they got here? They got pork. They make sure they got nothing but pork for you, man. Then over here is usually the ground turkey. Okay. And then over here is always the chicken. No chicken. They had a little bit of what do you call it? They had a little bit of what is it called? Salmon right here. Very low, but that shit looks shitty. You know, I know what good salmon look like. It was horrible looking. But look, all this freezers right here, all those freezers, all they got is abominated ass food in there. Shrimp, crab meat. See, all the abominated things they have on deck for you. Okay? Matter of fact, my bad. I forgot to put the sound on that.
Separate store.
This is a separate store. This is a whole nother store I went to just to go see if they had some meat over there. All right? Nothing.
Just went to another store to see if they had meats. Not a damn thing, yo. Little shit here and there. Let me see how much this shit costs. $28 for that.
$30 for that damn thing right there, man.
Yeah, they getting you for that. You know what I mean? See? Like I
see? But they got what? Pork. Pork ribs.
I said, they don't be having no meat, but they always got pork on deck.
And that literally, all that meat you just seen, all of that was pork, yo. Straight pork. Yo, can't make it up.
Can't make this shit up.
See? So they trying to suck you into getting. This is what I found for chicken. And this shit was 5 wings, yo. $10.22. With tax, it's gonna come out to $11. You see? They getting everybody, man. So, you know, that famine is right around the corner. All right. Matter of fact, let me grab Matthew 6. Matthew 6. And that's funny because it says the cure for anxiety. What we just read in economic turmoil, anxiety, great anxiety. Woo. This is Matthew 6:25, and it says, "Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat, and what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body, what ye shall put on. Is not the life more than meat, or the body than raiment? Behold, the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet our heavenly Father, Yahawah, feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they?" So you see, at the end of the day, man, you can't be afraid of these things because Yahawah Ba'Shem Yahushua is going to make sure we eat. That's why he said, "I am the bread of life." All right, he that believeth on me shall never hunger. He that believeth on me shall never thirst, man. We ain't got to worry about these things, which is a matter of fact, this you could almost go twofold with this right here. Take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat and what ye shall drink. All right, because the true food, all right, is this truth. The true drink, which is the waters, all right, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living waters, is what? The truth. Okay, and what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to eat this whole roll, meaning eat Yahushua, man. Eat the word of Yahushua. So take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat, 'tis truth. All right. But at the same time, you know, on the double fold side, you know, You ain't got to worry about us not having no food, man. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to provide a way for us. Okay? And then let me grab this before I forgot. I should have brought it up before. 6. Right? Revelation 6. And all right. This is Revelation 6 and 5. This is about the black horse, which the black horse also represents going into like slavery, all right, and bondage and things like that. But we're looking at it, the aspect of the economy falling, all right, where it says, when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse. And he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine, all right, which the oil and the wine is this truth, all right. But it says a measure of wheat for a penny and the 3 measures of barley for a penny. All right, going into this collapse of this society, man. All right. All this hyperinflation, all that is going to bring a collapse upon the America, man. And this place is going to be done. And it's just going to what? Usher in their new world order, which is going to eventually lead to what? The MOTB. All right. And it says, I'll read it real quick. I ain't going to read it like, you know. And it says, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive, all right, that karax in their right hand or in their foreheads, man. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, all right, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. All right, here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. All right, going into what? Chi stigma. All right, which that word stigma goes into an actual physical, you know, karax. All right, it's an actual branding of you being a slave to this society, man. All right. Karagma, Karax is all going into you being the ultimate slave, what they want you to be. They want you to bow down to what? Their image, man. Okay? They want you to worship their ways. And if you don't, they want to put you down, man. All right? But that's pretty much the point. Let's see what brother got here. That's right. This is Psalms 1 and 6. For the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish, man. You see? Yahweh Bashim Yahushua know how to deliver the righteous, okay, out of temptations. And he know how to what? Reserve the ungodly for destruction, man. You see? But Esau sly, yeah, that sly, treacherous guy. All right? That same damn going back to that serpent, you see, that's what that serpent was, a sly, treacherous man that deceived Eve. All right, it wasn't no little ass snake, you know, slithering, standing up while they was playing the flute, made him stand up and he started talking. Hell no. All right, but hey, that's pretty much the point. You know, famine, inflation, and collapse of this place is all going to hit at once, man, which we're seeing it right now. Famine is happening. Inflation is going up more and more. And eventually this place is going to collapse, man. All right. So, you know, Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. So with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Elohim, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakat, Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Hakim and the Akwat that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom, the Water Brothers for the scriptures, for tuning in. Keep fighting the good fight of faith, as always, and enduring as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai. I'm Bob Ball. We almost up out of here, man. Shalom.